Today, Cenk Uyger went on Piers Morgan's show, and I am sad to report that General Wesley Clark, whose son used to be a colleague of ours here at TYT, has completely lost his mind. He seems to be somewhat in favor of going to war with Iran. And so let's start off with this first video, Cenk, where Piers asks General Clark about the plan to overthrow.
Welcome back, folks. Today we're diving into a segment that lays bare the uncomfortable truths about foreign policy, media manipulation, and a very real cost of endless wars. Cenk goes head to head with General Wesley Clark, and what unfolds is a masterclass in calling out the establishment's talking points. Prepare to have your eyes open, because they're pushing it on us isn't just misguided, it's a dangerous rerun of history. Let's roll the tape.
Governments in the Middle East on behalf of Israel, because there have been quite a few governments that have been overthrown with US intervention, either boots on the ground or by us literally arming, Al-Qaeda terrorists in Syria. But nonetheless, let's see how that conversation went down.
There was, of course, this famous Pentagon memo, which you saw shortly after 9/11. You said it described a plan to take out 7 countries in 5 years, beginning with Iraq, ending with Iran. The other countries were Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, and Sudan. Some will look at this and say, well, this is the fruition of the plan, and Iran is the last one standing. Lebanon, of course, a bit more complicated, but the others have all gone through regime change. What would you say to people that think that?
Well, I'd say that that was over 20 years ago that memo was written, and the U.S. government doesn't really have plans that extend that far.
Over 20 years ago? Seriously, General? That's like saying a murder plot is irrelevant because the blueprint was drawn up last decade. The clean break memo isn't just some dusty relic. It's a prophetic roadmap that has unfolded almost exactly as predicted. It outlined taking out 7 countries, with Iraq the first and Iran the last. 6 are already gone. It's not a coincidence. It's a strategy. To dismiss it as too old is either incredibly naive or deliberately misleading. Does the Pentagon suddenly forget long-term geopolitical strategies? No. They just update the PowerPoint slides. This isn't about some casual suggestion. This was a blueprint handed to Netanyahu by neocons and our own government. It was about our intervention on behalf of Israel. Let's call a spade a spade. It's not ancient history, folks. It's current events playing out right before our very eyes.
That was your point? Like that was the proof to, okay. So what they're talking about is something known as the clean break memo. It was a memo issued to Benjamin Netanyahu by neocon members of our government under the Bush administration. They wrote this memo, basically a blueprint, handed it over to Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel. And it was a point-by-point plan on which Middle Eastern countries, their leaders would be overthrown specifically on behalf of Israel. The idea was a clean break from the culture of the Oslo Accords, meaning trying to find an option for peace with Palestinians, trying to move toward a 2-state solution. It's like, no, forget that. Forget the Palestinians, but also forget any idea that we wouldn't pursue the Greater Israel Project. We are going to pursue the Greater Israel Project, but first we need to weaken and destabilize these Middle Eastern countries first. So the clean break memo starts with Iraq, ends with Iran. Go ahead, Cenk.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking to see General Clark like that because when Piers had him on, I didn't know that General Clark had flipped and is now pro-war. And so I was expecting him to say, yeah, this is the exact memo. This is exactly what they said we were going to do. And then we did do it almost word for word. And now we're at the end of it. There's no question about it. And instead he was like, I don't know, that was a long time ago. But now I don't know if he's working for a defense contractor. Am I impugning your motives? Yes, I am. I want to be super clear about that, okay? Because that's not the same General Wesley Clark I knew before. General Wesley Clark was against war, okay? And was not for fighting Israel's wars, and he was adamant about it. Now he's flipped, and maybe we should fight Israel's wars. It has no, and I challenge him later, maybe we get to those clips, to name an American interest in this war. He couldn't name a single one. Of course there's no American interest in this war at all. So, guys, there's 2 groups of people now. People who've woken up and realized that our government is compromised by Israel, and people who are still in the old world, and they're like, oh, golly gee, that sounds anti-Semitic. I think we should, I mean, I don't know why we're going to war with Iran, but if Israel says so, we should definitely go, otherwise I'm an anti-Semite, right? Or whatever, or I'm getting paid, or whatever it is, right? But again, in that conversation, it pulled out two different polls. One is 70% of Americans against this war. The second one by YouGov is 85% of Americans against this war. And although 50%, I assume, are boomers who watch television with nonstop propaganda of we must go to war. And every piece of that propaganda, Anna, is identical to Iraq. They're not even trying to change the playbook.
Are you kidding me? No, they're not kidding. They're insulting your intelligence. It's the same old song and dance, just with a different target. Weapons of mass destruction becomes percentage of uranium. It's like watching a bad sequel where the villain has the exact same plan, but with a slightly different mustache. And the fear-mongering? Oh, golly gee, that sounds anti-Semitic. This is the ultimate shield, isn't it? Critique foreign policy, question military spending, demand accountability for American lives, and bam, you're a bigot. It's a cheap trick designed to shut down legitimate debate and bully people into compliance. But guess what? Americans are waking up. 85% against this war isn't just a number, it's a roaring of a sentence. We saw this movie in Iraq. We paid the price in blood and treasure, and we're not falling for the same tired script again. This isn't about anti-Semitism. It's about common sense and American interests, period.
And I'm watching right-wing shows and mainstream shows getting hooked like, oh yeah, they might have weapons of mass destruction. I'm worried about a percentage of uranium, right? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're a normie, you're among my favorite people. It pains me to see normal people get fooled by very obvious propaganda that's easily disproven. So with that in mind, let's see the very beginning of Cenk's showdown with General Wesley Clark.
I mean, I really respect General Clark. I don't know what's happened to him. That letter was very clear. They did, the neocons and Israel First did execute it. They have knocked out 6 to 7 of those countries, just like they said they would. They've gone to Iran at the end, just like they said they would. If we're talking about a country that is destabilizing the region and the world with endless wars, that country is Israel. I mean, look, this whole thing is topsy-turvy. The whole framing of the discussion is ludicrous. Israel has attacked 7 of its neighbors, not Iran. Israel forced us into the Iraq war, and they said it would be easy, and it was a disaster. They said they were doing it for the Iranian people, and then we wound up killing hundreds of thousands of Iraqis. We lost thousands of our own men. The fake weapons of mass destruction evidence came from where? It came from Israel. They pushed us into the war with Libya. Now there's modern day slavery back in Libya.
I just got to say something about the laughing hyenas on screen as Cenk is talking about American soldiers getting slaughtered fighting Israel's wars. That's what they're looking forward to when it comes to Iran.
Laughing hyenas indeed. This is beyond disgusting. While Cenk is talking about American soldiers getting slaughtered, about the unimaginable costs in human lives and shattered families, these armchair warriors are giggling? It's a profound display of disrespect. A chilling indifference to the very real sacrifices made by our servicemen and women. It perfectly encapsulates the elite detached view of war. For them, it's a geopolitical chess game, a business opportunity, or a chance to flex influence. For us, it's our sons and daughters coming home in flag-draped coffins, or with scars that unfortunately will never heal. This isn't just about political disagreements. It's about a fundamental lack of empathy. They're not laughing with us, folks. They're laughing at us, at the American people who bear the burden of their misguided crusades. It's a stark reminder of who truly pays the price when the powerful decide to play war games.
Laughing hyenas, absolutely disgusting, absolutely dismissive of the fact that we would be risking American lives to fight this war on behalf of their, Israeli masters. Anyway, go ahead.
They're like, oh, we're gonna get them to fight
They're
for
so
Israel.
disgusting.
We're laughing at you, America. That's what it felt like there. And so I don't know if they think that that's gonna throw me off my game.
Please do more of that.
Yeah.
Please do more of that, because I want Americans. I want Americans to know what you really think about them. I want them to know.
Yeah. So, look, the only thing I'm gonna say for now, we got more clips, is that notice my decibel level, perfectly normal. until I start getting interrupted, right? So that Israel first 101 is interrupt. And so when you see me raise my decibel level, it's only because someone's come in and tried to stop what I'm saying because they don't like what I'm saying at all. They thought they could contain it. And one of the reasons they're most angry at me and Tucker Carlson and Anna is because they're like, you're supposed to shut up when we call you an anti-Semite. You're supposed to say everything that Israel wants you to say on television and on media. Why are you guys disobeying? Well, we're disobeying on behalf of those 85% of Americans who don't want any piece of this war.
Let's take a look at how General Clark responded to what Cenk was saying there.
Every war they have pushed us into has cost us trillions. Hold on, General Clark. Hold on. They have cost us trillions of dollars. Yeah, you know that. And they have cost us blood and treasure. And it's Israel doing it, General Clark. Be a patriot. Be a patriot. Stand up for America, not for Israel. I'm not going to go to another war for Israel. We're not going to spend trillions more for Israel. We're not going to lose America's soldiers for Israel. The Israelis have bought 94% of Congress. The Israelis have bought Donald Trump, and this is a
hang on,
and
hang
you guys
on.
keep obfuscating these facts.
Can we have some respect for the general, please? I think doesn't deserve to be screamed at.
No, he's interrupting
Clark,
me.
you
He
want
should
to
have
respond?
respect for the American people, 85% of whom do not want to go. General Clark, why are you pushing us into this war when 85% of Americans don't want it? And you yourself know that the neocons have wanted this war for 20 years. Our interests? What interest?
Yeah, and at one point, Cenk, in the discussion or debate, General Wesley Clark makes the argument that the neocons were in the Bush administration, and then the Bush administration was gone, Obama came in, and the neocons were gone. No, this is what is meant by the deep state. We're talking about unelected federal operatives that we don't even know about, right? We don't elect them, we don't hear about them, we don't know exactly what they do. They work for the intelligence community, they work for various government agencies, they work in the Pentagon. Those people don't change from one administration to another. And those unelected, shadowy figures behind the scenes are the ones who make decisions that we have no say on.
To see a man of General Clark's stature, a man who once spoke against fighting Israel's war, now seemingly playing dumb about the Israeli lobby and the deep state, it's heartbreaking. And frankly, it's insulting to our intelligence. He knows that we know that he knows. The idea that the neocons just packed up and left after Bush, or that the Israeli lobby isn't a permanent fixture showering Congress with cash, is absolutely just flat out ludicrous. It's a convenient fiction for those who want to maintain the status quo and keep the war machine churning. This isn't about being smart. It's about integrity. When you compromise your principles for a paycheck, you lose more than just credibility. You lose your soul. The deep state, the unelected operatives, the lobbyists, they don't disappear. They just change their ties and keep pulling the strings, hoping we're too distracted or too polite to call them out.
So again, the idea of then Obama came in and everything changed. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. We have continuity from one administration to another when it comes to foreign policy. That's very obvious and clear.
And that's when I knew that General Clark was gone. And again, that's just I was kind of devastated to see because look, I remember Howard Dean, and he was a brave fighter and progressive populist, et cetera, back in 2004. Then he became a lobbyist. Then he started going on Morning Joe and saying, "Oh, Big Pharma's right about everything, and corruption's not that big a deal." And it was just humiliating to see. So when General Clark said, those were the neocons that we left behind in the Bush administration, and we've had different, but see, I know General Clark, he's really smart. So it's not like he doesn't know the Israeli lobby is permanent. The Israeli lobby's been here the entire time. They've given money to 94% of Congress, and as I was saying, they're #1 donor to Trump and Biden, Mike Johnson, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer. It's not like General Clark doesn't know that. For him to go, oh golly gee, the neocons and the Israeli lobby, what are they? I don't know what they are. Come on, General Clark, what are you doing?
What are you
doing? No
doing?
paychecks worth that.
Folks, this isn't just about one general or one memo. This is about a system that consistently prioritizes foreign interests over American lives and American prosperity. It's about recognizing the propaganda, seeing through the smears, and demanding accountability for those in power. So tell me, if you're tired of being told what to think, if you're ready to stand up for American sovereignty and put our nation first, then hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this video far and wide. Let's keep shining the light on these truths and push back against the forces trying to drag us into another endless war. Your voice matters, so use it. And as always, stay vigilant, patriots. Stay vigilant.